Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Let's get back to Iraq. Look at these stacks. I'm alright, Jack. Keep your hand off my stack. Anyways, sorry. I was noticing the words were rhyming. So, big talk amongst the gold and silver people, which brought my attention to something that I've been speaking about in regards to the Iraqi Dinar. And that is, this year, 2023, it looks like it's going to be a very bad year for the US dollar. I spoke about the fact that the US economy was artificially being pumped up and the US dollar was artificially being strengthened. Eventually, it has to come crashing down. And it looks like 2023 is going to be the year. I watched a video, which was a conference on the death of the dollar from the Brooks Institute. These people laid out one reason after another why it is the US dollar is going to die in 2023, with the very high possibility of it losing its reserve status. And if you remember, good Lord, was it 2023 now? Back in 2020, I told everybody coming around October, the end of 2020, that it looks like the US dollar was going to lose its reserve status. And once it did, it would lose 40 to 60% of its purchasing power. And that people should be buying gold and silver. Well, it didn't happen when I thought it was, but it's definitely coming around. It looks like 2023 is the year. If that's the case, then you're going to see other currencies go up in value against the US dollar. Let's talk about that. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link will be down below in the description. If you are a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy Silver. Yes, it has changed. PIMPY-SILVER. So if you're watching this video and it's an older video, make sure you check on current videos, because the code is going to be changing from time to time from now on. Also, I can be found on other platforms. Everybody knows I have my own website, Pimpy's News Network. Over here, I post videos that I can't get away with over on YouTube. Also, I have a group on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here, we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. Come on over here and join us. It's free to do so. You can also come follow me on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and Odyssey. The links for all these platforms will be down below in the description. So for whatever reason, if I get removed off of one platform, you could find me on the others. And that is the same if I get suspended. So if YouTube suspends me, I will post on any of the platforms. Anyways, for those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. Go ahead and feel free to pause the video and write it down and reach out to me. A quick shout out to JR Buttons, who sent me a bunch of these pins. I absolutely love them. Truther Patriot. Look, you even got Lynette Zhang in here. We got Wall Street Silver in here. And this one I like. Time to Wake the Lions. Yes to cash, no to CBDC. And I will be covering something interesting about the CBDC in the silver and gold video that I think you guys should pay attention to. This definitely is a false prophet. Traders, yeah, I'm loving it. So to JR Buttons, thank you so much. I appreciate this gift. So the Arab Monetary, an increase in the performance of indicators of 7 Arab stock exchanges last week. That's good. It just means that the stock market's moving in the right direction. And these they use as indices to try to judge what their economy is going to be like, although I wouldn't do it so soon. But it goes on here to break it down. We'll worry about that kind of stuff later on. We're more focused on the politics and the Iraqi Dinar. So here we go. The dollar prices fall in Baghdad and Erbil. The exchange rate of the US dollar against the Iraqi Dinar fell on Thursday on the main stock exchange in the capital Baghdad and in the Kurdistan region. This is the direction you want it to go into. When you hear that the dollar is falling against the dinar, that's what you want to hear. The correspondents of the news said that a couple of the essential exchanges in Baghdad recorded this morning 1,572 dinars for every $1. It was up to 1,600. Now, it's not much of a change, but at least it's going in the right direction. Price on Wednesday in the morning was at 1,599 dinars for every $1. Says our correspondent pointed out that the price of buying and selling stabilized in the banking shops in the local markets in Baghdad, where the selling price was 1,577 dinar for every $1, while the purchasing price was 1,567 dinars. So it's going in the right direction. So I'm on Twitter and I can see Biden's White House administration are controlling Biden's Twitter, lying to the world, talking about how they have the lowest unemployment rate ever in history, which is a lie, and how the economy is doing phenomenal, which is a lie. This is going to be a bad year for this administration. Already we're seeing the continued massive resignation. People just don't want to work. Why work when inflation's so high and your dollar doesn't purchase you anything? And the fact that you can get free money from the government, who's made it obvious that it's better for you not to work and they'll just supplement you than the other way around. Than you working and paying taxes. Of course, I'm being facetious. Don't do it. The dollar is going to crash. More and more countries are looking for alternative ways to avoid the SWIFT system because it's been weaponized by the United States. I've spoken about this before. More and more people are turning away from using the US dollar as the trade dollar, which in the past, if you dared to do that, all of a sudden we would hear a call for regime change. And then it would happen, and then we'd hear that you had weapons of mass destruction, even though we couldn't find any. It's crap like that. But there's too many countries doing it at one time. So we're looking at the possibility of there being a co-reserve dollar or the end of the U.S. reserve dollar in all. If that's the case, you're going to see the power of the dollar drop big time. Now I hear a lot of people out there going, no, Pimpy, that's not going to happen. There's too many countries buying up U.S. debt. No. Actually, China and Russia have been dumping it. India's looking at dumping it as well. These are the big countries that are moving away from the U.S. dollar. Sure, we see people like Iraq and Japan buying more U.S. debt, which is not a smart move in my opinion, but I'm sure they're being coerced into doing so to help pump up this fake market. But the truth is getting ready to come out. We already seen a bunch of people talking about laying off people in mass numbers, especially in the tech sector. If the tech people are already telling the news that this is going to happen, I have no doubt that the Biden administration has been informed of this, and that's why there's so many of these misleading tweets. If you're a gold and silver stacker, congratulations. Your purchasing power is going to remain and strengthen while the U.S. dollar goes down, which means you'll get more U.S. dollars for your gold and silver. The same with the Iraqi Dinar, the same with the Vietnam Dong. If this value is going down, then other currencies will most likely go up against the U.S. dollar. Those pegged to the dollar are going to suffer the same consequences. Now remember, the Iraqi Dinar was pegged to the dollar. I don't believe it's pegged any longer. And in those countries that are pegged to the U.S. dollar, don't be surprised if you see them just literally unpeg themselves. So both in Baghdad and in Kurdistan, we saw the U.S. dollar lose ground to the Iraqi Dinar. That's what you want to see happen. Parliament calls on the government to expedite the adoption of the budget law, and the deputy confirms its completion by the Ministry of Finance. Good, let's get it going, let's get it in there, so people can start getting finance to start doing infrastructure, to start doing what they need to do to offer more jobs to the Iraqi people, strengthening their economy. The news is reporting that the completion of the draft budget law for 2023, which will be discussed at the next cabinet session, while First Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives urged the government to expedite it. The Ministry of Finance has completed the final draft of the General Budget Law for 2023 and is expected to be sent to the General Secretariat of Council of Ministries next week. So if it gets there by next week, you're looking at what, 2 weeks until it's voted on? So that's not bad. It might actually happen by the end of the month instead of in February, but most likely not. It says next week's session of the Council of Ministers will witness discussion of the budget law and then vote on the law and send it to the House of Representatives, noting that the total amount of the budget exceeds 140 trillion dinars with a fiscal deficit of more than 30 trillion dinars, with the calculation of price per barrel at $65, which I think is perfect. That's a good spot right there. That's a safe spot compared to where they want it to be, which was around $75. So I'm compromising with them, because if I had to Because if I was them, I'd have done it more somewhere between 55 and 60, but $65 is a good compromise. I know they listen to my videos, so I'm saying to you guys, Pimpy supports the decision at $65. Go ahead and move the budget forward to be voted on. So as soon as the budget is passed, that's only going to help make the economy even better. So that's good news for those who are invested in Iraqi Dinar. So yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about that was in the news, but the fact that the dollar is losing a little bit of ground, and that's not surprising. It goes up and down like that, so don't get too excited. I mean, be happy about it. But like everything else, we're looking for consistency. The budget's going to be up there sooner than later. This is good. Let's get it passed. Let's get the money to the places that need to be so that we can start improving the Iraqi economy. Also, in my gold and silver video, I'll explain more in details of why it is the US dollar is dying and how currencies are going to benefit from that, as well as gold and silver. So come join me over there a little bit later on. That's it for now, you guys. I look forward to your comments down below, and I'll get back at you later. I'm out.